Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the qualifying match, the first qualifying match here of the RSL Rival StarCraft League Season 5 America's Server Qualifier. I do apologize for the delay for the longer break here, but again, we did have some downtime. We did have to wait for the previous match to conclude, but now we're here with our first best of 5 of the broadcast, our first qualifying match, and potentially our last. We'll get into it. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss player himself. Oh my god, representing Stouty Balls, it is a Shameless. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the pink Protoss player, himself. It is Perceive. And you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial best of 5. Let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into our best of 5 here, and we'll see how our players will approach. We'll see how players will approach. We'll see how we do open things up. As again, Perceive, he is known for switching things up and going either Protoss or Terran. Does mix up his race from time to time. He's a solid player with both of them, but Shameless, of course, is coming in as the heavy favorite. The heavy favorite here, Shameless, to win it all and to make it into the main event. We'll see if he can pull it off. We'll see if Perceive can recover. We'll see if Perceive can actually threaten and make a series out of this. Let's go. Let us go. I haven't actually seen too much of Perceive's Protoss, so I'm curious to see what he brings to the table. First things first, it is going to be a 2-gate opener out of our Protoss player. Does open 2 gates, likewise so does Shameless. So far, mirrored builds. Shameless does veer off towards the left-hand side, looking to go for a proxy pylon. Meanwhile, Perceive will come in for the scout, and Perceive will confirm that a pylon is missing. So nice scouting here out of Perceive. Does break in, does confirm, likewise Shameless setting up for his proxy. Now, based on the proxy location, it's looking like a Stargate. It's a little bit far away for a proxy robo, so I'm leaning more towards Stargate play. I say that we have been seeing more and more proxy robos that are further and further away, but still be quite successful. Still lean towards Stargate, but show us what you got. Once the Cybercore finishes, of course. Cybercore is still on the way, so we can soon commit in. Cybercore's not done. Show us what you got. Ha! Stargate. Okay. Stargate open out of Shameless. With this, he can go for the proxy Oracle into harassment into the main, do critical economic damage, and look to take a lead economically. That's the goal. Not an all-in. Remember, this is not an all-in. This is only for economic damage. Now, the downside, of course, is if we fail to kill some workers, if we fail to deal economic damage, then Shameless will fall behind, bearing in mind that we do see our tech of choice here from Perceive going into Twilight Council into Blink. So earlier Blink timing is going to be available for the pink Protoss. Very often after a proxy Stargate opener, we do typically follow up with a robo. The reasoning for this is because you're so far behind when it comes to your Blink timing anyway, may as well be hyper defensive with Immortals. As a probe is going to be shut down, Shameless did get a full scout, did confirm the pylon placement and the tech as well. So we'll see if Shameless does indeed go for the robo or not. For now, the Oracle is on the way. Oh, and I assumed it was going to be Blink. I assumed it was going to be our upgrade, but no, it's going to be the Dark Shrine instead. We're building up into DTs. Oh boy, this is a bold move, very bold move here from Perceive. Now, as we know, there is detection, Revelation. If the Oracle survives, Revelation is going to be available. Regardless, we're going into the main base for economic damage, and there it is. There's that robo. As we mentioned, it is common to go for a robo after a proxy Stargate because you need your Immortals to survive, but this also means that we have access to observers as well. So Shameless has plenty of detection with Revelation and with observers. The Oracle is yet to commit. Only one Oracle. Shameless does scout here on the right hand side, but doesn't go further out, does not confirm the proxy itself. That's the warp in across the map. That's the warp in. We'll see if Shameless does go for the observer first, as he's still biding his time. Adepts say shade into main. They confirm. Oh my, they scout everything. Yeah, he scouts. He confirms 1, 2, 3 Adepts going to be going. 3 probes going to be going down. Adepts say pop off. Getting up to 3 probe kills, and they confirm the Dark Shrine. We have 3 DTs warping in across the map as we speak. Meanwhile, here comes the Observer. Likewise, we have any army back at home. We have 2 Stalkers. Yeah, 2 Stalkers at home to defend. These DTs should not deal. They should not deal critical damage. First DT pokes in, gets focused down, and that's no damage. Yeah, 0 damage here. Force field, ooh, is misplaced. Ideally was meant to box it in. So misplaced force field. DTs they waddle away, and Shameless takes a massive lead. Shameless has a base, Perceive does not. Perceive's Nexus is still not even halfway done. Oof, so rough position here for Perceive. He's down when it comes to his economy, he's down when it comes to the tech, when it comes to the army as well. Remember, there was supposed to be a bigger window in time where Perceive had Blink, but because he went for his Dark Shrine, that means the Blink is late. So delayed Blink. Oracle breaks in, gets Revelation. Just getting as the main army, the Oracle does survive, which means we can always go back in and find some more damage. So he rotates around. I guess we have an Archon. True, I guess. From here, we are going to clean up the proxy. Proxy gets found, proxy is cleaned up. Oracle into the main. And from here again, Shameless still has a very comfortable lead. From here, he's getting to his own prism, throwing down extra gateways into his 4-gate setup. Sorry, 6 gates. Oh my god. Okay, so Shameless is going to be more aggressive here. I mean, he knows he's ahead. He knows he's ahead, and he's going to push out. Well, the sign that we're looking at here is that usually getting up to 4 gateways is already aggressive on 2 bases. To go up to 6 gateways is a 2-base all-in. No third. No third expansion here. We should have already seen a 3rd base by now, but he doubles down on extra gateways, and now it's all about this push. So Shameless, he knows he's ahead, so he's going for the kill by incorporating, evolving this into a 2-base all-in with that follow-up. And Perceive is going to have a very difficult defense. Shameless is pushing forward. We have a battery, soon to be 2. But again, supply heavily in favor of Shameless. The batteries will help. Guardian Shield gets activated, he blinks in! He gets one Immortal! And from here, he can just snowball. He can just snowball out of control, warping it in his face. The boys are being pulled. Desperation here out of Perceive. He's desperate for damage. Ay. Last wing control, pulls away, leading out minimal Stalkers. Likewise, good juggling here with the Immortals, does save them, does preserve them. And with that, he's already done enough. And Shameless, he's done enough. He's baiting him in. Jesus. He wants to bait him in. Este Shameless. Calm down, baby, calm down. As Perceive is down to 26 probes. Again, a 1-base economy. Blinking into the main. Station Trap as well. Shameless, he's flexing his styling back. Army blinks in. The stasis catches it. Crazy stasis. The prism still goes down. But so does the army. So does the army here, Perceive. As he's overwhelmed. You're just waiting for those final Stalkers to break out. 3 Stalkers left. Down to 2. Down to 1. Down to 0. And here comes the stage trap. Does expire. And there's barely anything left here. A handful of Stalkers. With that, there is no remaining army. And Shameless will take a lead in the series. Does take a lead. A GG gets called. And Shameless takes that 1-0 advantage. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Winding it back here again, it all came down to the opener. We had Shameless going for a proxy Stargate into Oracle Harass, which didn't do much damage, but the Adepts did. The Adepts, they got into the main base, they got a full scout of the main, they confirmed the Dark Shrine. It was a DT opener at a Perceive, a big risk, a big gamble, and because it got scouted, it got shut down. But not just that, because of the build of choice, remember, Shameless went for a Stargate opener, it is standard to go Stargate into Robo. So he already had the Robo, which means he had access to detection, so DTs were not, they were a non-issue. They were a non-issue there. Oh. So you're getting into game number 2. So with that, he had his follow-up, he shut down the Dark Templar. Likewise, because of the commitment into DTs, we saw that Perceive had a delayed expansion, so he was just far behind. He was behind in tech and behind in economy, and Shameless was aware of that, so he turned that into a 2-base all-in. Went for a 2-base all-in to just end the game then and there, as he knew that he would have enough of a lead to just snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played, and with that, we're now getting into game number 2, and we'll see how our players will adjust coming into this. Let's go. Going to be loading into White Rabbit. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing Stony Bulls. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the pink Protoss player, the pink Protoss player himself. It is Percy. Let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into our PvP. We're jumping to game number 2. Again, we had a cheeky start here out of Shameless, a cheekier build out of Perceive as well. But what does that mean? That means you're taking risks, you're taking chances, you're gambling, pappy, and alas, sometimes you lose everything. And that's kind of what we saw there from Perceive, to go for the Dark Shrine, to take that risk as well. And I mean, that's also why we often, if we ever do see a Dark Shrine, it's often proxied to make it difficult to scout. Remember, the Dark Shrine was in the main. It was in the main base. It was scouted immediately, so there was no attempt to hide it and to preserve it and to keep it hidden. Whereas I feel like that's a necessity when it comes to that kind of build. So bold move there by Perceive. With that, we have our initial openers, 2-gate opener out of Shameless, 2-gate opener out of Perceive. So far, we have mirrored builds. The real question becomes, where are the pylons going to be thrown down? The second pylon specifically. Look at the rally. Ooh, proxy pylon here. And this is a prime position for a proxy robo. Proxy robo, 1 base all in from Shameless. We mentioned earlier that in the last game, the proxy pylon did look like a proxy Stargate because of its placement, because it was further away and further away by ground. The rush distance by ground was quite far from the pylon. Here, it's direct. It's just a straight line. It's just a straight line across the map, so there should be a robo into immortal production. Meanwhile, Perceive does scout with his probe. He does confirm that a pylon is missing. Perceive knows that much at least. And we should be seeing a second probe send out to scout. The first one does actually come back through the center. Okay. I mean, if we don't veer off towards the right-hand side, we won't see anything. Yeah, Perceive, he pulls back home. Doesn't see the proxy. Oh, does scout the probe. That's a bit of a tell. To know that a pylon was missing, to see the probe coming from the right-hand side, he should know that if there is a proxy, there's a high chance it's here on the right-hand side of the map. And he goes for his own defensive robo. Okay. Good reaction, good response. If you recall, we did bring this up in game 2 of the previous series between Shameless and his previous opponent, between Crimpus, where Crimpus scouted the proxy robo, but he went for the expand. Here, we don't even scout the proxy robo, but upon recognizing the threat of an all-in, Perceive does respond with a robo himself. So very, very safe response here by Perceive. The gamble is going to pay off this time. He doesn't know what's going on, but happens to be an all-in. So with this defensive robo, he will have his own defensive immortal production. He will also have his own defensive war prism for defensive micro. And the robo does allow for quite a lot of defensive play. Safety battery on the low grounds. So far, so good. So far, so good. Meanwhile, Shameless waiting for that prism so he can move out across the map. Bearing in mind that Shameless will have the micro advantage initially. There's that immortal as the follow-up. And we'll see what Shameless can get done. We shall see. So far, Perceive is zoning. Shameless is now aware. He's now aware of the robo. Again, there is no expansion. Third gateway is on the way. Just again, very safe play here by Perceive. Things looking good for the pink Protoss. He's got his end immortal. The immortal is out. Ooh, cheeky move with the sentry. We can force field. Can we lock something down? Not yet. Does threaten a dive. So far, Perceive is keeping up. Keeping up, Shameless pulling back, getting a second immortal, third immortal's on the way. And Shameless, is he tempted to expand? Is he tempted? As again, this all-in is not working well yet. Does find a pylon. Pylon will go down. Oh, a little bit of miscontrol. But okay, pulls away. Looks like maybe he was trying to scout. Goes back in. Hey, find some more pylons. Gets one more. Has to be careful. Okay, second pylon does fall. Nice pickoffs. Nothing major, but damage is being done. Ooh, Perceive. Are we confident enough to expand? The probe is down here on the low ground. He's tempted. Shameless is still committing. He's still all in. Oh. Who is it? Is it me? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I have to leave the game. Oof, my ping spiked up to like 2,000. My connection to OBS looks fine though. Maybe you can let me know if I'm lagging, but yeah. For whatever reason, my connection to BattleNet just died on me. Oof. So honestly, that could go either way. Honestly, Shameless could break through or not. Hopefully the latency there, the lag spike, didn't impact Shameless too much, because I did see that he warped in some adepts and then canceled the warp in. So I'm a little bit concerned. But yeah, something is definitely up here. I'm just checking. OBS is fine on my side. Like, my connection to the stream is perfectly fine, but yeah, my connection to BattleNet just got destroyed. Oof. I know that Mapu is streaming as well, so maybe I can see what's happening over on Mapu's channel. Yeah, the game is going to continue. Okay, so we're going to be going on a short break. Actually, I should double check and make sure that everything's fine. But yeah, I had a crazy weird lag spike. And hopefully everything's okay. For now, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our next game. We'll have game 3 between Shameless and Perceive. Whether we're tied up 1-1 or we have a lead for Shameless, yet to be determined. I do apologize for the technical issues, but yeah, I just had a really weird lag spike in game. I went up to 2,000 ping, so I had to get the hell out of there because I didn't want to negatively impact the game. So we'll see you soon. Hopefully everything clears up, and hopefully we can get into game number 3. See you soon. The qualifying match here of the RSL Rival StarCraft League Season 5 America's Server Qualifier. This is the final qualifying match, actually. It looks like the upper match already concluded. Nightmare did take down Exile 3-0 to advance on and to qualify for the RSL for the Rival StarCraft League. And meanwhile, we're here to determine whether he's joined by one Protoss or by another, as we're getting into game number 3. Now, I do apologize. Again, I did have a crazy lag spike in the previous game, so I did have to leave. But I was looking over at Mapu's stream, and Shameless did claim the series. Did claim the game, I should say. In the end, he was forced back. Both players expanded. They both took their natural bases. We saw that Perceive went for his own counter all in, and he got completely shut down. Like, Shameless just had a massive army lead and was able to snowball out of control from there. But now we're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of the series. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the blue Protoss player representing Stowny Balls. It is Shameless. And spawning in top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the pink Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. It is Perceive. Let's go. Let us go. And again, do apologize for the weird random lag spike in that last game. It was weird because Twitch was fine. Like, Twitch, YouTube, like our OBS connection was perfectly fine. It was just specifically the connection to BattleNet, which just randomly died. So it feels bad, man. Regardless, we're getting into that third game, and hopefully it is smooth sailings from here on forward. It is going to be a two-gate opener out of Perceive. Likewise, two-gate opener out of Shameless as well. So far, so good. Everything's looking as it should. Everything's looking standard so far. And we'll see where our players take us from here. And here we go. From here, we'll see if we do commit to any kind of proxies. Remember, Shameless went for proxy start in game 1, proxy robe in game 2. Is it Perceive's turn to proxy, by the way? He has yet to really commit into anything too crazy. I mean, sure, game 1 he went into DTs, that is true, but it was still back at home. Like, he didn't proxy the tech. Oh, as we throw down the spray, second pylon on the low ground, Perceive wants to expand. Yeah, Perceive, he's looking to expand. And meanwhile, we can see Shameless doing the same. Okay, mirrored builds. For the first time this series, we're building up into a faster nexus from both sides. Okay. So we are setting up to expand, and that means we can actually settle in towards the mid game without too much issue. We can make it, man. We can make it. Casito. We can make it. As from here, Shameless, he's setting up in the center, trying to get it first shot off. Likewise, they go two-gate opener into double stalker, into quadruple stalker. Yet to move out. It is going to be a robo follow-up here as our take of choice. So Shameless going for the robo. Robo, of course, is indicative of early immortal production. This can lead into a two-base all-in into Robo Glaive Adept, which, if you recall, we saw in the previous series between Shameless and Crimbus. Did see that. But that does come down to Shameless taking a lead early on. And capitalizing on that lead. Robo opener out of Perceive as well, but later. Yeah, later Robo. We're setting up. And from here, there's going to be that prison first. From here, Shameless can start to be active. He's going for his own Adept Harass. If this Adept Harass is successful, that can lead into the Immortals into that two-base play. Meanwhile, Fake Oracle goes in. Doesn't really do much here. Just gets a full scout. Hallucination doing the same. So both players, they scout, they confirm that nothing crazy is going on. It's going to be a Twilight Council follow-up out of Shameless. Perceive should be heading in a similar direction. Right now, I'm looking at the gateway count. If we throw down extra gateways behind this, Perceive may just commit with massive vanilla gateway units. Prism into the main. Perceive somewhat in position. Gauge ready. Perceive is ready. Perceive does deflect. So far, so good. Again, I'm still leaning towards Glaives here. Blink. Never mind. Blink is on the way. No economic damage. We're building up to a standard mid-game. Nothing crazy this time. Again, I feel like the Glaives is just an intentional follow-up if damage is done. But here, you know, no economic damage. We're teching up. Later, Twilight Council out of Perceive. A Shameless should soon be expanding. Sooner claiming a third. Hallucinations rescouting. Oh, hold on. What? Perceive, he's going for 2 extra gateways, which is already hyper aggressive, going up to 4 gates on 2 bases, and then he goes for the Bay. Bay into Disruptors on 2 bases. Very bold, very tech heavy. Shameless setting up for his 3rd expansion. Shameless, he did scout the additional gateways, I believe. No, he didn't. So he's not fully aware. But he does get 2 extra gates behind this. So 4 gate blink into a 3rd. Relatively safe play out of Shameless. Meanwhile, Perceive, he's staying on 2 bases for the Disruptors instead. And later Forge, later +1. These Disruptors, they can of course pay for themselves and make up for it and just snowball out of control. My assumption is Disruptor, not Colossus. Technically Colossus are an option in PvP, but it's rarely seen. Colossus are an alternative to the Archon. He's going for it. Wow. Okay. Okay. I feel like this is too soon. So what I just mentioned, Colossi, so the way that this works here, the way that PvP works once we get into the mid game is that you have a Blinkstalker composition, then you support it with Immortals, then you go into Charge. The reason why you're going to Charge is because Zealot's doing an amazing job when it comes to tanking both Stalker and Immortal shots, close that distance, and doing critical damage. So naturally you do want to switch into Zealots as they're a cheaper and more efficient option instead of spending all your gas on more Stalkers and more Immortals. Then, as you go into Mass Zealot, you typically react with Archon production. The reason for this is Archons, of course, they're also kind of lined up with your Gateway setup, your Twilight Council setup. They do a lot of splash damage. They're a good answer, a good counter to said Zealot as they tank well, and they do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the Colossus is an alternative to that, where the Colossus also does a lot of damage to a Mass Zealot composition, but we're not there yet, right? Like, it's purely Blinkstalker Immortal at the moment. The Colossus is going to struggle here. Against Mass Zealot is going to be fine, but there are no Zealots. Armor gets spotted. Shameless does see an opening. Does see an opening. Now just posturing outside of the army. Adepts shade into the mineral line. Shameless moves in. Poking forward. Perceive is in position. And now we have the Disruptor. So a bit of everything here. Colossus into Disruptor. Disruptors, they're a little more effective, of course. They can pop off. Charge now on the way. We can see Shameless going for his own bait into his own second robo. Now, what is the best counter to Colossus? Disruptors. So, Shameless doing the correct thing here is transitioning into his own double Disruptor reduction to take a lead. And we're kind of forcing Disruptor wars. Okay. What we're missing here is a second robo. Perceive, he will need a second robo, otherwise he'll fall behind in the Disruptor count. Oh boy. And then very quickly, it's going to become all about those Novas. So building up those armies. And Disruptors are amassing. +3 is on the way already. Jesus. +3 against a +2 of Perceive. Aye, aye, aye. Not like this, Babby. Not like this. This nation does go in once again, confirming that we still have more Disruptors on the way. And may even get eyes on the Disruptor counts. It does confirm 2. It does confirm. Proceed pushing through the center. Shameless setting up on 4 bases. He's got his own 3 Disruptors as well. 4 Disruptors. Jesus, 4 Disruptors even. And if given more time, he's building more up. Breaks in. Okay, let's break in. First Nova goes off. Catching out Zealots, not bad. Second Nova goes off, but it does with. Oof. Don't say anything with Zealots. Bleak's on cooldown. No! Bleak is on cooldown. Ay, ay, ay. The Novas, they just bully. They bully back Perceive. Not like this. Oof, does make away. But again, Bleak is now on cooldown. Bear that in mind. Just now coming off. And that comes up. Oh no! Ooh, massive connection. Taking down the Disruptors. Disruptors, Sentry, Stalkers as well. Massive connections. And with that, Perceive is falling apart. He's falling apart, taking every Nova to the face. Ay, ay, ay. Here come the Warp-ins. Here come reinforcements. Shameless, he can just blink in. He can dive on the Colossus. He can dive, and he will. Okay, it does push forward. More Novas going up. Oof. We did get one good counter Nova out of Perceive, but that's all he's got. That's all he's got. And with that Perceive, he will lose everything. He'll lose the entire army. Bearing in mind as well that Perceive is only on 3 bases. Shameless has 4. He's up on an entire expansion. He's up on bases, up on upgrades, up on army, up on tech, up on everything. And again, that's all that Perceive had. Again, the Novas, the initial army control was lacking there for Perceive. Was lacking. And it was all in, essentially. He forced himself all in. He chose not to expand. He chose not to get a 4th base. He chose not to take gases. He's now going for a massive zealot counterattack. He's going for what hopes to be a base trade. This is the best chance here for Perceive. The problem is that recall exists. The problem is the Protoss can always recall. So he goes Shameless. He does recall back home. Does recall back. Catching out the army. Oof. Nova does connect. Bit of friendly fire, but it's fine. There just aren't enough zealots here. So with that Shameless, he breaks the 3rd base. He defends back at home. Even going into Dark Templar. You have a couple of DTs in the mix. 5th expansion on the way. Shameless, he can do what he wants, but he can do what he wants. Premier pulls away. Caught out the Disruptor. We come into the Warp Pins. Shameless is almost maxed out. And again, Shameless is here to qualify. He's here to make it into this season of RSL. Again, who is... Oh, does take a note to the face. But again, Shameless, he is the rising talent, the rising star of the European region. That's why it's like Shameless, GG Machine. They are the rising talent. And he's here to rise up, happy into RSL. We're just rallying in Disruptors. Diving the Archon. Nova goes off. Massive connection. And the final stand here for Perceive at the same time. We're warping into the main base. As Zelsa busts into the mineral line. And Shameless is overwhelming. Takes down the cannon. Going for the natural. Running it back again, Perceive, he was one that had a quirky build here, going into fast Colossus, into fast Disruptors. Shameless did the correct move. Once he scouted, he did react with his own double Disruptor reduction. So he actually took a lead. He took a lead in Disruptors. And likewise, saw the Perceive never expanded. He never got a 4th. Never got a 4th base. He forced himself all in with a smaller army and with worse upgrades. And GG gets called with that Shameless. He will claim the series 3-0 and qualify for RSL Season 5. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Shameless, he will claim the series. He will advance on. My condolences to Perceive as he is knocked out of the qualifier, but we do have more qualifiers ahead of us. Bearing in mind that we have the Korean qualifier tomorrow and then we have the European qualifier thereafter. Still 2 more server qualifiers. Bearing in mind that these are server qualifiers, which means anyone can play from any region. It's just you are forced to play on the Americas server. That does take priority, of course. Does take priority, but GG, well played, congratulations here to Shameless. Does claim the series, and let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out who else made it through. Okay, so Shameless, he qualifies for the RSL. Meanwhile, Nightmare, we had Exiled taking down Glisten in the first round. Then Nightmare took him down 3-0 as well. So again, a bit of a smaller bracket here, but Nightmare and Shameless both qualify for the Revival StarCraft League. GG. Congratulations to both Nightmare and Shameless. Again, a bit of a shame that it was a smaller bracket here today, but hopefully the other regions make up for that. Hopefully the Korean server and the European server also make up for that. Bearing in mind that these are server qualifiers, but it's possible that the other Korean players, right now it's a good time slot for the Koreans, it's possible that they weren't just aware. They just weren't aware of the qualifier, so they did not quite show up or sign up or compete. It is a bit of a shame. It is a shame, but regardless, congratulations to our top 2, to Nightmare and Shameless. GG, well played. There'll be a new addition to RSL. New addition, man. Wishing the best. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up. Here for the morning. I say that because, bam, as you can see here, we have a week full of StarCraft, and it's going to be a very intense week of StarCraft as well. Yeah, it's going to be a very intense week. I'm sorry, just catching up. But this week we just wrapped up with our Tuesday morning broadcast. As you can see, bam, on my left, we are going to be casting the GSL qualifiers later on tonight. I say later on tonight, that's going to be in around 5 hours. Oh boy. 5 hours time, we have the GSL qualifiers. We will not be casting it here though. Bear that in mind. We will be casting it live, but we're going to be casting it over on Soup, not here on Twitch. So not on Twitch, not on YouTube. We'll be live over on Soup. Just be aware of that, of course, as we are going to be broadcasting on a different platform. Do we have a command in the chat? Exclamation mark Soup. There we go. Exclamation mark Soup in the chat to get a link to our Soup channel. Soup is kind of like Twitch, but in Korea. Bearing in mind that Twitch no longer supports broadcasters from Korea. They did kind of end support for Korean broadcasters. That was like a year ago, 2 years ago. It's been quite some time now. So as a result, we had other Korean streaming platforms kind of pick up where Twitch kind of abandoned, right? So they picked up a bunch of the Korean streamers. That's why we have a bunch of competitors. We have Chijik, we have Soup, and I think we have like a Kakao streaming platform as well. I think there's like 3 major streaming platforms now in Korea. To make up for that. But otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up for the time being, and again, we'll be back in 5 hours time with some more StarCraft with the GSL qualifiers. Let's go. Let us go. So again, that's going to be later on tonight. When it comes to the rebroadcast of the GSL qualifiers, we will be hosting that on this channel. Depending on when the GSL qualifiers end, we might either host it later on tonight or maybe tomorrow before PegaStar Cup. We'll try to find a place for it, but we'll try to rebroadcast it here on Twitch and YouTube as soon as we can. But that will be a rebroadcast. Otherwise, at PegaStar Cup tomorrow, we have the RSL Korean qualifier. That's going to be tomorrow evening. We have StarCraft Illusion League on Thursday. We have the podcast on Thursday. We have the TLMC finalist broadcast on Friday. Hopefully that does happen. We have been waiting for the TLMC judge sheets to be made public, and that hasn't happened yet. There's a chance that might be waiting for the Wardy broadcast and the Wardy tournament to finish. I would imagine that's what we're waiting for. We then have the Universe Titan Cup on Saturday, and we have the Tuna Cup on Sunday. Oh boy. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft is on the horizon. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off. But the soup lies true. The soup does lie, papi. Oh, no. Not like this. But yeah, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. For the time being, and we'll see you guys later on tonight for some GSL or tomorrow for PegaStar Cup. One or the other. We'll see you then. Otherwise, if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. Exclamation mark at Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. You can see our goals under my camera here. Our current donation goal and also our current Patreon stretch goal as well. It's all available. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. I'm probably going to try to nap for a couple of hours. I'll try to get like 2 hours sleep, like 2-3 hours sleep, and then wake up in time for GSL. I still have some errands to do. I still have some things to do around the house, but I'll try to get some sleep, and then we'll be refreshed for some GSL. That'll be the plan. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego. Take care.